Hello, this is Gail and Monique. Say hi, Monique.
Hi.
And we are hanging out together for Global Entrepreneurship Week. If you have caught any of the earlier live streams today, we've been going since 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time on November 18th, 2019. So we're working towards getting towards the end of day one for us. And Monique and I are in Eastern Time on the East Coast-ish. Are you considered in the East Coast? You're considered the East Coast, right?
Yeah, Atlanta. Yes,
Yeah.
East Coast. Mm-hmm.
I know, but people are weird sometimes about like how they refer to different things. So like I would consider myself on the East Coast because I grew up on the Southwest, in the Southwest, but I live in Pittsburgh-ish. And so people who are in Philly do not consider us to be East Coasters.
Oh, got
Anyways,
it.
that was more of the that was a little sidebar conversation. Get us kicked off and ready. Ready. Okay. So Monique, I put a description in the description. I put a version of your bio.
Mm-hmm.
But would you take a moment and tell all the wonderful, fantabulous people who the heck you are, what the heck you do, and who you like to work with?
Sure. So first off, I want to thank you, Gail, for having me a part of the Entrepreneurial Hotline Global Entrepreneurship Week live stream. I'm deeply honored to be on this show. So excited to partake in this. And long story short, my name is Monique Johnson, and I help online business owners primarily, but this can also work for offline business owners, how to generate leads and sales using the amazing medium of video and integrating with social media. I'm highly passionate about live video, just like how you're seeing this either live or on the replay. I'm obsessed with it if you don't know me, but I love utilizing live video to truly help people provide not only an impact, but to generate an ROI. That's what I strongly focus on. I don't focus on like the latest and greatest, platforms and things like that, because this is the most powerful device that you can carry around literally in your pocket. That's all it takes to get started. And I like to work with people who I do not have to convince that video works, and someone who is coachable and willing to take on this, because literally, as Billie Jean says, if you're not using video, you're effed. I'm not going to curse on here, but he literally will say the F word. But yeah, I strongly believe in video. And again, Gail, thank you so much for having me on this show.
You are so welcome. I'm so excited you're here. I have the mute button because I didn't want to like accidentally giggle over you. So if you are watching this live, let us know in the comments that you're here. We are watching the comments, and if you do catch this on the replay, do leave comments. We will circle back around and answer things. So just as a real quick intro to what the heck we're doing today, Global Entrepreneurship Week is this week. It is a global initiative, and I did a little run through earlier of all the various specifics that I'll replay later today. So you can check that out. Then I won't go into detail here. But basically, this is an opportunity for people who have been entrepreneurs for a while, give back essentially, and make space for people, make a space for people who are starting, just figuring it out, have just gotten the bug, have figured out, oh my gosh, like I've been an entrepreneur and I've like just figured out there's this whole world and there's this community and there's all these people, and we're the people. So we're here, we're the people. And we have lots of other people in our communities that are excited to have you here as well. So I invited Monique on today to talk with you about live video, why the heck it matters, what you can do with it, how you can use it to support yourself as an entrepreneur, and let the world know what you are doing with your stuff. So with that, Monique, how did you I know the story a little bit, and I know everyone says, how'd you get into this? So why don't you share a little bit of your origin story?
Sure. So in a previous life, as I like to say, I used to work on Wall Street, literally, as a financial analyst. And how I got started with social media and video primarily was there was a position open at a startup that's not in existence today. But at the time, it was like around 2008, 2009, and the market crash, everything was in turmoil. And so there were, people are constantly looking for jobs, willing to work for free. And I remember I saw this position as a community manager, and I said, what can I do to make myself stand out from a bunch of paper resumes? Okay. And so I created this, if I were to look at it today, this hideous video, but it instantly got me the position. And ever since then, I have been obsessed with the power of video. I've self-taught myself all aspects of video, from the video production side to even just being in front of the camera, how to be in front of the camera, all of those great things. And so that's how I got started, primarily with video and social media, because at the time, honestly, I was miserable at my job. And I never saw social media as like a business opportunity at the time, because when I was in college, sophomore year is when, this is me dating myself, but my sophomore year is when Facebook came to fruition, and we were in my university was one of the first universities to get on the platform. So to hear that Facebook was an opportunity to make money was mind-boggling to me. But once I started like studying it and all that great stuff, I realized, okay, this is a great opportunity. Digital marketing, social media was a great way to tie in my analytical side, but also the creativity side that to me, in my opinion, at the time, I was highly neglecting. And so, the rest is history. I have built myself, started off with freelancing, and then just been networking, working hard, been able to speak all over the nation about how to utilize social media for business and using video to do so.
Yay. I love origin stories. And I love that you're on Wall Street. Like, I'm a massive, massive, like, number nerd. So that always, my heart always goes, oh. when you say you're on Wall Street. So for someone who is just starting, we don't need to necessarily like jump into like gear and things, but what if you only had, I don't know, say 5 minutes with someone, and you could share like 3 things that have like made the difference for you since you started, or 3 things you wish you knew way back when, what would they be? And you don't have to do it in 5 minutes. So just take your time.
Okay. I will say that when I was working, what I did was I quit cold turkey. In hindsight, I wish that I had some sort of side hustle or had clients or some sort of revenue generating source that was working and just needs to scale by the mere means of me spending more time or dedicating more time to it than just quitting cold turkey. Because as a result, living in New York is expensive as I don't know what. And so I went through my savings real fast. And, my Cinderella story was that, I had to swallow all my pride as a grown woman, move back home, move into my parents' place, into this small little room in their condo at the time. And I was dirt poor, like broke. Okay. So I would say, for one, is, for especially those of you guys who are a 9-to-5 corporate job, whatever, be sure to figure out some sort of stream that is coming in to help you. And then it's just a matter of you scaling it once you dedicate more time in order to make that happen. So that's like a huge, huge eye opener for me as well. And then for those also that I want to say, because I will say I was on this team initially, but now I've changed because, the older you get, the more wise you become. But if you are an entrepreneur and you're struggling, it's okay to get a part-time job. It's okay to have financial oxygen. It does not make you less than or not an entrepreneur if you have the assistance of a part-time job. So that would be another insight that I want to share with people. entrepreneurship can check the ego so hard, so freaking hard. And the thing is, as entrepreneurs, especially if you're doing this against, I don't know, your family wishes and stuff, you want to prove people wrong. Your ego can be your biggest enemy. And a lot of times we want to do things by ourselves. So another thing is, if you can get help or collaborate, do that. However, I will say, do your due diligence, because I can tell you, I've had some horror stories with doing some collaborations and partnerships, but check your ego. It's not that if you put in the hard work, the compounding effect will come into place, and don't feel like you have to do it alone. Was that 5? Was I supposed to do 5?
Gail, that was 3. So you had keep your day job, or have a side, and then maybe like cultivate a side hustle while you keep your day job. Financial oxygen is totally okay. So if you are a full-time entrepreneur and you find that you need some financial oxygen, get the financial oxygen.
Yes.
No one wants you to go hungry, and no one wants your family to go hungry if you have a family.
Right.
And then the last thing you said was that your ego can be your biggest enemy. And what else did we throw in? Oh, don't go it alone.
Yeah, don't go it alone.
Don't go it alone, which is why we're here.
And I will say one more thing. Entrepreneurship, I'm going to be frank, it can be lonely. It can be a very lonely place. That's why I love social media so much, because I mean, for instance, I've known Gail for a while. I have friends all over the world, literally, who I have not met in person yet. But, these are my people who get me. But what I want to say is, you must be your biggest cheerleader. So entrepreneurship really digs into your self-belief, your self-care, your personal development. And I would strongly implore 2 things: that anything that you can do to read to help you grow mindset wise is everything. But number 2, you must be your biggest cheerleader. When you're down, when the naysayers are coming at you, the family members who are getting on your last nerves and are saying, ha, 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 it's not working, you have to believe in yourself more so than anything else.
I agree completely. Yeah, I talked about self-belief earlier this morning, and the fact that like that's what's carried me through everything, basically.
Right.
So I am totally with you there. And Ross Brand is here. Hello,
hey, Ross.
Hey, Ross. I totally talked about you this morning. I need to PM you about this crazy thing we're doing. But Monique and I are gonna keep rolling on our conversation. And Ross, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so video. All the way back to video 101.
Yep.
Like, I'm a new entrepreneur, and like I've never gone live before, and I'm freaking out, and oh my gosh, Monique, where do I start?
So I want you all to reach into your pocket or your purse or whatever and bring this bad boy out. If you have a smartphone, because I know that some people, I don't know, they're in the Stone Age, and I don't know, they have flip phones or something. No shade to you, but if you have a smartphone, Android, iPhone, Windows, whatever the heck is out there, bring this out. And what I would recommend, whichever platform you want to, but I say Facebook is the 300-pound gorilla that cannot be ignored. There's 2 billion people on this platform. There's 7 billion people on this earth. That's about the third of the world's population. Okay. And if you're serious about growing your business and you want to use video to help do that, you must be on Facebook. I'm also a huge fan of Instagram. And if you're in the B2B space, or you have more of professional clients that you want to grow with, then LinkedIn video, and also LinkedIn Live is being rolled out as well. It's not readily available to everyone. So this bad boy. So let's talk about Facebook, since we're talking about Facebook. Download the Facebook app. I'm sure a lot of you guys have it on your phone already. And then what I would recommend, just to get started, because your first live streams are going to suck. your first video of anything is gonna suck. Okay, so let's be clear here. Okay, and I would say go live on your personal profile, but make it private so you can get used to what it looks like. And all you do is you do like you're doing a status update, but you click on the live video, you write a quick description or title, and you go live. And you'll see how there's different things that you can do. You can see comments coming in if there are, but if you're private, of course, no one's going to see that. But just get used to talking and get used to talking for at least 10-15 minutes. That's the sweet spot for live video. Live video is more so a long form video than short form video, like what you would be used to seeing on YouTube and things like that. And once you do that and you develop your voice, you figured out what it is that you want to do, then I would say take off that private blocker or wall and make it, available to your friends or public. But the key here is if you truly want to use video for business, you want to go live on your fan page or your business page, as some people refer it to, or in your Facebook group. But the reason why you want to do your fan page is so many reasons. Number one is the analytics and insights that Facebook makes readily available to you. Number two is if you ever want to put Facebook ads or boost it for like $1 or $5, you can do it on fan page. Number three is you can look in the analytics to see who are the various types of people who are watching your live videos, or how far along do they stay, so you can kind of figure out your structure where people are falling off, all those different things. And again, that's that analytical number side coming out in me from my Wall Street days. But that's what I would recommend. And so if some of you guys are wondering, okay, I got the fan page, but I also have a Facebook group, like how do I balance the two? What I would strongly recommend is on your fan page is where you would provide some initial things, general topics that you would cover, and then you treat your Facebook fan page as like your VIP. People who are in there, it's exclusive content. You create even more in-depth content there, and you are always trying to get people into your Facebook group. Okay, so that's just a brief kind of like system that you can utilize to help get clients, et cetera, et cetera. The only thing that I strongly recommend if you're using your phone or just video, generally speaking, there's so many different schools of thoughts on this, but in my opinion, for me, is audio makes or breaks video. So invest in audio. If you're out, in a crowded area, you want to use some sort of microphone, or at least bare minimum your headphones that you can plug into your phone, because people, they'll forgive you, especially with live video. Everyone knows there's hiccups, there's connection issues, etc. But you could have the crappiest looking video, but if your audio has spigots, spackets, annoying sounds and things like that, people will not stay around to watch, and you don't want that. So those are just some of my major tips, and hopefully that answers your question, Gail.
It totally does. Thank you. This is what happens when Gail is the back end and the front end,
right?
Of all the things. Okay, so we've helped our person who has never gone live before. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ross Brand is chiming in, and our lovely. He says, "So true. Audio is often the most important part of your live video." Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, yes. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone to watch a video and I have been so excited. Right. So excited. I want to listen to the content. I want to hear what's happening. And I want to celebrate the people who are sharing the content. And I can't, because it's scratchy. There's an echo. Right. There's pretty much anything. And I will admit, I think by now I'm probably a little bit of a snob. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely, I've just listened to so many videos. Yeah. I've listened to so many live videos, listened to really good ones, really bad ones. And oh man, you get 15 seconds. And if it's bad audio, I'm out. Yeah. And
because live video is becoming more and more common now, it's just kind of like with the, the journey of YouTube. people are going to have certain expectations, right?
Yeah.
So even, maybe more of a professionally made or more produced live video, kind of like something as, I love how Ross says, audio snob, own it, for sure. It's all about the audio for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what type of video you're creating, whether it's a recorded video or live video, you have to invest in the audio, hands down. Yeah.
For sure. So I think if I'm so lucky, I will get Ross Brand on here later this week, and he'll give us the gear rundown.
Oh, yes. Ross is the man with that, especially with audio.
For the audio, for the video. Totally shouted out about Ross earlier today. So where are we going next? Okay, so we've talked about what do you do if you've never been on live video before? You shared your top 3 things that you wish you'd known way back when. And let's see. Let's switch gears for if we want to go say higher level.
Sure.
Are there applications? Let's do applications. So how can we use live video as a new entrepreneur, as someone who's been doing it for a while? What do you think is the best way to utilize live video? If you want, you can go into content stuff. Totally up to you. And this might be a good opportunity to bring up that thing you're launching.
Oh, sure. Okay. So for anybody who's getting started, or it doesn't matter what level you are as an entrepreneur, whether you're a newbie, intermediate, or advanced, if you want to call it like that, a veteran, whatever you want to call it. When it comes to going live, to me, the most important live stream or the easiest to get started is an AMA, also known as a Ask Me Anything, also known as live Q&A. We have the Reddit community to thank to come up with that amazing acronym of an AMA. And the reason why it is the most important or the easiest is there's no script. You can literally do it on a whim. And it immediately positions you as an expert in your industry, no matter what, because you're answering questions. But the key is you want to answer questions with some sort of story or experience, because people, especially if you're utilizing this to either generate leads or for selling something, people buy emotions, people buy stories, and people buy solutions to their problems. And when you're answering your questions with some sort of story or experience, that taps into the emotion, because we buy, as human beings, we buy based on on emotion and not logic, believe it or not. The logic kicks in after the adrenaline and endorphins and all that kick in. And so you want to do it where, and it doesn't have to be your story. It could be a friend story or a friend of a friend, or even something you read. But it's imperative that you answer as many questions as you can with some sort of story or experience. And there's no wrong answer, right? Because someone can't say, well, that's not true. Or, how can someone refute a story or an experience? Okay. And of course, you want to tie it in and make it relevant, not tell some sort of random story. But this can literally work for any industry. The free masterclass that I do all the time, I show from like Marie Forleo, Tim Ferriss, to doctors, agents, all incorporating live Q&As and AMAs. And if you still are kind of like, Monique, I'm not sure how to do this, guess what? Facebook in itself is a search engine. So go to Facebook, go to the search bar, literally type the words, Ask Me Anything, and the results will show all various types of AMAs and live Q&As that have been conducted. And you can see how people do it. Like, for instance, I saw this doctor do a live Q&A, which was so cool, in his office while walking on a treadmill. So have fun with it, right? And it instantly creates you as an industry expert, because you're sharing tips, you're sharing experiences, and you're sharing stories. And yeah, sorry, I think my My ring light just went out.
It sure did. I was like, oh wait.
I thought, well, at first I thought electricity went out. I was like, oh my goodness, the internet's about to go out. So, oh boy.
So, okay. So what, in all the things you've done, so since, okay. The Ask Me Anything.
Sure.
Because
I'm going to, okay, hold on 1 second. Keep asking your question. Go ahead.
Okay. So for the search engine thing on Facebook, because I just talked about this in the last broadcast, I was talking about things that you and I did last December, last November, because we worked on getting our URLs, our websites with our names up to snuff, and we worked on getting our YouTube channels sorted. And one of the things I talked about was the fact that getting your name parked as a URL, and then also getting a Facebook business page, doesn't, whatever kind of page up, because Facebook is like a search engine, and that when people are searching for you, if you don't show up, even if you're real, even if they have talked to you, you don't exist.
Right.
Sorry. Because people, there's like this, the no like trust factor is such that if you don't have something parked on Facebook with your business name, you don't exist. So with that, so my actual question, going back to the AMA thing, for the search properties, what do you think is the best phrase? Like, do we need to have that in the video title? Does that need to be in the description? Do you know where it pulls from?
So great question. So that's leading to what you call SMO, social media optimization. And you would want the keyword in the title, just anywhere that it's possible. So I know it's easy when you go live or when you're creating content that you just want to skip the things, fill them out, do the tags, do the title, do the description, and even in the comments. Okay. It's very similar to what you would do for SEO or optimizing a YouTube video. You want to tackle each of those areas, and that's how it's ranking. Because now that Facebook is pushing Facebook Watch so much and all of that, they have these natural playlists. So let's just say you are watching a video on real estate, and then Gail, you did some, I don't know, random live about real estate.
Yeah.
Someone could be watching that, and that'll be the next suggested video, or it auto plays, right? Especially when you're on your phone. And it's because you have real estate tagged and put in, you did all the optimization steps to make that happen. So that's why it's imperative that you do that. So for Ask Me Anythings, you don't just put Ask Me Anything, because people aren't necessarily searching for that, but say Ask Me Anything, and then whatever topic you want to be known for or ranked for. Another suggestion that I have is, especially starting out, you might not have anyone there. So have some talking points, have a general theme or topic to talk about. And then the longer you go live, the higher chance of someone hopping on. And that's when you can start getting the ball rolling.
I like it. I do a really good job for the first 4 minutes, and that 5 minute to 10 minute range you talked about earlier. And I just go and just explosions everywhere. But yeah, okay. So we've run a lot. We've covered a lot of space. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's another piece. Do you want to? What else would you like to talk about?
Well, what I would love to talk about is we're coming towards the end of a decade, beginning of a new one. And the holidays are here, or they're pretty much here. It's next week. And right now, actually this week, I am running a challenge. And the whole intention of this challenge is called Facebook Live with Purpose, but it's to get your first sale and your your next 10 leads before the holidays. It starts on Wednesday and it ends on Tuesday. So Wednesday the 20th and ends on Tuesday the 26th. Yes, the 26th. And sorry, I should know this. And the intention of this Facebook Live is to really push those who really want to take their business to the next level or create a new revenue stream. Because literally, guys, Facebook live video can have you create a new revenue stream where you're actually selling directly from it. There's no convincing. A lot of times, some of my former clients and students have had people chase them down. And the reason why is because all of these different social media platforms, guess what? They love video. They rank videos the highest form of content. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. And live video in most instances is the highest of the high, right? And so in this case, again, I feel that Facebook is the 300-pound gorilla that you cannot ignore. And I am hosting this amazing challenge. I'm really excited about it. There's 3 grand prizes, including a live event to meet me in San Diego next year in March. So even a gimbal stabilizer. If you guys don't know what that is, it's that tool that allows you to do fluid shots and things like that. But it's a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. But really, it's all about being intentional, okay? Because I know with video or anything when it comes to content marketing, some people see social media as a waste of time. But it's not a waste of time if you're intentional with it and have strategy. And that's what I focus on primarily when it comes to the live video space, is the whole ROI and also the strategy and being intentional behind it versus figuring out the latest and greatest platform or gear, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so I just threw the link for the challenge in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in checking that out, you should do that. What does going live with intention mean to you?
Love that. So going live with intention means a lot of things, but the first thing that I want to cover is going live with the intention of helping someone or providing a solution. Okay. So whatever you go live about, there must be some sort of value. Don't go live for the sake of going live. For instance, like my friend says, likes and views don't buy, customers buy. So if you're going live in the park, at a concert, guess what? You're attracting the wrong type of viewers. Going live with intention is going live where you are providing value. You give someone the opportunity, whether they see you live or on the replay or even from a month from now, to reach into their pocket and give you money or give you at least your email address so you can develop an even deeper connection, rapport, or relationship with them. But that's what I mean by going live with intention. It's a matter of, yeah, you can go live in the park and stuff, and that's great to show behind the scenes and have people get to know you, like the touchy, soft skills, touchy, feely stuff. But when it's time for being intentional with it and making sure it's working for your business and it's worth your time, right? Because we only have 24 hours in the day, you want to do what you call revenue generating activities. And guess what? Facebook Live is a revenue generating activity, hands down. No one can convince me of that. I only want to convince you of that. And so by going live with purpose or having intention, that's what I mean.
I like it. So we had, let's see. Trying to think what else be good things. I've been live streaming a lot today, so I'm getting to the tail end of what my brain's able to do.
That's okay.
So we have some time left. So what let's talk a little bit to entrepreneurs that have been at the game for a while. I don't necessarily consider myself I don't know, I've been at it for a minute. It's been 4 years, but I know there's people that have started businesses and started as entrepreneurs like long before there was video, long before there was internet. Mm-hmm. How can they, as they have created content essentially over decades of time, what do you think is where they could start? Because I think I've met a lot of them who are now trying to adapt to this online
digital space.
This digital space, it's a little overwhelming, a little terrifying.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions as to where they can start?
Video.
Yes, start with video.
Start with video, hands down. Yeah, I'm the video person. Video, you cannot go wrong with doing video. And honestly, if you have a physical location or you're selling physical products, if you're in that space, let's just say we're talking about that, Gail, since that's primarily what business was before the digital age. You have a one-up because you have something tangible. So if you're going live or creating videos, it's all about what I call the triple threat systems. It's systematize, demonstrate, and promote. And for those who have physical locations or physical products, the demonstration is so freaking easy because all you're doing is showcasing your product. You're showing how it works. And this actually helps for a lot of people because, let's be frank, I know a lot of people don't want to be on camera with their face, but you can demonstrate by showing your hands on showing how something works, or you can do a screen share, right, of doing a walkthrough if it's something more of a software. But more so, if you have a physical product or something like that, oh man, you have a one-up because at least you could touch it. You could show people. This is why QVC and what's the other network? I can't remember, but yes, that's why they've been in business for years. Like they started off in TV, but guess what? They go live as well. Okay. They go live as well. So, yeah, you have a one-up as a result. And it's just a matter of being intentional. It's a matter of, if anything, go watch QVC for like, I don't know, an hour or less. See how they structure it. See how they say and how they're pitching while they're not pitching. Yes, there's instances where they're pitching directly, but if you just listen to what they're saying, oh man, it's just a matter of making it conversational.
So with I am totally on board with suggesting people go watch others. And is there do you have a must watch list?
Oh, girl,
Entertainment Weekly, you got a must watch list, right?
Yes.
So who's on your must watch?
Yeah. So, and just to dig in deeply to what Gail's saying, I teach this in my program. I call it pre-existing wheels, because if you think about a wheel, it's been in existence since caveman times, okay? And we literally have not changed it when the axle was created. I mean, we got wheels on cars, baby strollers, etc., and yet we still use it today. And I feel like it's the equivalent to the fax machine. Can you believe we still freaking use the fax machine of all the things that have been created and been outdated because of the technology world, and we still using fax machines? Mm-hmm. So with that said, the saying, don't reinvent the wheel. Find the pre-existing wheels that are working. Find the pre-existing live streams, video, whatever content that you want to do that for a fact is selling, and make it work for you. So for me, that's why I say doing AMAs is great. So, and also, just a little secret, guys, if you want to go live, use some sort of teaching demonstration. It's considered old school to teach from a whiteboard, chalkboard, flipboard, but guess what? It works and it sells. So I like Jasmine Star, how she does her AMAs both on Instagram and on Facebook. I like Russell Brunson. I like Frank Kern. Not everyone can handle him, and I'm not necessarily, in stance of how he does his promotion and run his business, but Tai Lopez, for him to be a Lamborghini owner, etc., what does he go live on primarily? His smartphone. And the thing is, Billie Jean is another one. And it's Jean as in Gene, not Jen like Michael Jackson, okay? But Billie Jean is great at it, of how he does webinars. He utilizes props, things like that. Russell Brunson, he will go live either on his phone, he does Instagram and Facebook at the same time, or what he does is he'll do stories, do the swipe up feature, and make sure he goes live on his fan page. So in case if you're not on the Facebook platform, you could still watch his Facebook live stream that he did. So that's another secret or tip, guys. Go live on your fan page as much as possible. And what else? Frank Kern, he kind of does he's doing more of phone live videos, but he used to also utilize the big studio setup and stuff like that. So those are like the 3 to 4 that I like. There's also Grant Cardone, but he's more of a professional setup because he does like a weekly show with that, with, you know, a weekly setup and background and all that other great stuff. But those are the people I primarily watch on a consistent basis. There have been other people where all they do is go in front of their bookshelf and go live. And the thing is, like, don't make it hard, guys. Don't make it hard for you. You can always build up to the fancier stuff. In my opinion, you need to earn that. You don't deserve it right now because you need to know your voice, know how to go live, get comfortable going live, make it a habit, make video a lifestyle, and then get the more professional setup.
I always love that when you say that, make video a lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's like, I love that. Sorry, I just had to put that in again. Just so I could do that and say make video a lifestyle. All right. So somehow we have made it to almost the top of the hour. So closing thoughts, last things you want to share?
So, you know, I'm sure those of you guys who are watching this, whether live or the replay, and I like what Ross says, your content should always be further along than your gear. Boom. Exactly right. Because if whatever's coming out your mouth is BS, people can sniff it from a mile away.
You want to provide value. How good your audio is or how good your video is.
It needs to be valuable. And so what I would love to walk away with, want you all to walk away with is this. It's Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's towards the end of the year. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen similar interviews just like this and will see future ones. Take action. It's great that you've watched us thus far and taken up 1 hour of your time, but don't let that hour of time be in vain or be wasteful. Take action, implement. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if it's not perfect. We are human beings. We learn from our mistakes, literally. Don't let perfectionism come in. Don't let comparison, because all the people that you're comparing yourself to, they started where you started from, but they just took action and they just kept with it and they were consistent and they maintained it. And then they worked up to it. They earned where they are. You haven't yet. So having professional jealousy, let that go out the window. That ego, let it go out the window. But please take action and implement. And you'll be surprised in 1 year, in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If anything, read the book Compound Effect by Dan Hardy, okay? It's all about the small wins, the small tweaks, not the big ones, the small ones. Right.
I just wanted to show Ross's thing again. So
awesome. Thank you, Ross.
Live. So I'm dropping Monique's link in again for her challenge. So take advantage of that. If you've made it to the end of our talk, thank you for getting here with us. We appreciate you. And we'll probably, maybe we can hang out for a little bit and ask any questions. I'm going to, what are we going to do? Oh man, Gail. Okay. And cut. Can we start over? No, because this is live video. Oh, let's go. So I like going back to take action and implementing. That the only I am an epic implementer, and I'm an epic person to take action. So if that is going to be a lot of what I talk about tomorrow and probably most of Wednesday, is like, this is how you can take action. This is how you can implement. Remember those things Monique talked to you about on Monday? Here's how we can do that. So one of the things you can do right now to take action and implement is to go sign up for her challenge. Say yes to you, say yes to doing it, and be ready for 2020 and get the things done. So we sincerely appreciate you hanging out with us. If you're catching us on the replay, thanks for watching the replay. And shall we say goodbye, Monique?
Yes, goodbye. And please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm here on Facebook. Search for Monique Johnson. And yeah, I just want you guys to implement. I seriously want to help those who want to provide an impact, who want to challenge themselves. Because I know video can take a lot. Video can be scary, but it's just a matter of getting over that initial hump and just continue doing it. And you'll be surprised at how much better you get at it.
You can also go to this link that I just put in. Mm-hmm. So summit that whole long thing. If you click that, it'll take you to Monique's speaker page on our summit event. So that's what we have for you for now. I will see you in a few moments.
And thank you so much, Gail, for having me be a part of this summit. Seriously, I'm deeply honored. And those of you guys who are watching this, be sure to show up for the remaining of the week, because I know they have a lot in store for you. And just take action, whatever you feel the most comfortable with. Thank you, Lori. The one that you feel, okay, I'm going to go all in on, because you want to go all in, commit to it, and then just take action.
I like it. On that note, thank you and goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye.